talking about today?
Hey. We extra lit today. I'm at Monty house. And what we talking about? We talking about how lit our blackness is. We lit. I mean, what isn't lit about being black?
I mean, look at us. We're black. And we lit.
And we woke up like that, okay?
This melanin, this hair, everything.
We woke up. I mean, I didn't exactly wake up with this ponytail and these clip-ins, but
y'all know I ain't wake up like this. I woke up in this skin though.
Right. I woke up in this swag.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And it's like, I just love it. I just love it. It's my favorite thing about me, I think.
Seriously.
Being black, for sure.
As being a woman, like if I had to choose, I don't think I could choose. Like if you could come back as something else, what would you be, black or a woman? I'm gonna have to go with both of those. Like I don't.
Somebody asked me what comes first, being black or being a woman. I'm like, being black will always come first, because before my parents knew my gender, they knew that was what I was going to be. Like,
okay.
They always black.
Ooh, I like that.
So it's always going to come in black comes before being a woman, but being a black woman is top tier. Period.
Okay.
Top 10.
What do they say? It's dangerous, but it's kind of lit.
It's kind of lit. Like it's real lit.
Yeah, I know it's real lit. It's real lit. Miss In child.
Oh, what you drinking?
You ain't right. You ain't right. This morning, or whatever time it is, I'm sipping on some agua.
Yeah. I think Harper upstairs trying to get out.
She trying to break free.
All right, y'all. They're gonna think we drunk on this episode.
I know, right?
I didn't start drinking yet.
She's drinking. I'm not.
On?
The hostess with the mostest provided me with some delicious dark wine with fruit.
The Menage a Trois line.
Yay.
We drinking seltzer, but we ain't sharing the brand because no free bread, ain't no free promo.
No,
I just got me some more water today, Chuck. I'm starving. Continue.
Woo. Well, since we're talking about drinks, let's switch it over to food.
Yes, let's talk about food.
Okay, so growing up black, that food in the kitchen, woo, Charlie.
What did you grow up eating, Egypt?
We grew up eating, of course, the fried chicken, the macaroni, rice and beans. But I don't know, like my rice and beans is different from y'all's, right?
It's rice and
peas. It's peas and rice in Western
rice.
Yeah.
Peas and rice.
For our rice and beans, it's kidney beans. It's like red kidney beans and sauce. And then sometimes we do the yellow rice, but that's not black. But black,
it is black because Latinos
I knew that was
I ate kidney beans on my Panamanian side and all types of different rices. So, and peas and rice on my Barbudan side. So, and we already know, you could be black and be Hispanic. So it's black too.
Listen.
Check out the last episode for reference, okay?
Listen, education, honey, education. Rice and beans, collard greens. I don't like collard.
Oh, wait, hold on. Because Egypt, you don't like...
Wait. Spinach. I don't like spinach.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. You already know where I was going.
Collard greens, though. I didn't like.
You already know where I was going. Because so kalaloo is a West Indian dish. It's almost like spinach soup.
Yeah.
And Egypt does not like it. I love it. Usually it's made like New Year's, Christmas, like to start the New Year. It's like, good luck. But Egypt didn't like it. But you said collard greens. I was like, hold on. You already know where I was going.
There's a difference between spinach and collard greens. Are huge.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, they're kind of similar. So
because I just mixed it up again. Okay, so growing up, I didn't like cabbage. Cabbage is the clear green one, big cabbage. Circle head.
Oh, I love it.
I didn't like it because I hate hot greens. But as I got older, I started getting more exposed to Caribbean food. So then I liked the cabbage. I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. And now I can eat cabbage any kind of way. It don't got to be Caribbean. It don't got to be made by Black people. It could be in an egg roll. It could be chopped up, stir fried. I like it. Collard greens and spinach. I don't like hot greens.
Cabbage is hot.
I don't like hot greens.
But I think cabbage is a little cabbage,
and I could do raw spinach. That's all I could do.
Can I give y'all a story real quick? This keeps popping in my head. When I was a kid, right?
The raw spinach.
Yeah. What were you Popeye eating it out the can? Like, what are you doing?
I don't like spinach. I don't like spinach leaves in my salad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have to cook the spinach. I love spinach.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, right? My mom had asked me to make a salad.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I'm not a kitchen person, and I was a kid at this time, so it was even worse.
What's kid?
I was like
10,
under 10, maybe 10, maybe 11, around there. I mean, I ain't got no shame, so I don't care. But she had asked me to make a salad like before she came home from work, and I made it because I'm like, whatever. When she came home, apparently I used a head of cabbage and not a head of lettuce, and she was so annoyed. And I was just like, yeah, here's your salad, chopped it up, whatever. I used a whole head of like raw cabbage. And she was like, you idiot. Every time I think of cabbage, I think of that story. Like, and I'm still
got out of the kitchen then when it comes to salads.
Listen, y'all know I will DoorDash it up. I don't care. Like,
oh, that's right.
Listen, everybody got their strengths, okay? Everybody got their strengths. And I just don't care to be in the kitchen.
I can eat a whole.
I know how to do stuff.
Give me a bowl of cabbage. I will literally sit there and just eat it. And I know you
enjoyed my salad then.
No, cook cabbage.
Chill.
I know you was like, you don't care who cooking it. I'm like, nah, it gotta be Black people, like Southern Black cabbage or Caribbean cabbage. Like it has to be made by somebody that's
flavor.
Black.
Yeah.
So you eat it like just as it, because I usually just eat it on the side, like as a side. Like I'm not gonna.
Like how?
I eat it in a bowl. Like, you can put that thing in a bowl for me, and I'll just sit there and be eating it.
Yeah.
Because you know, like when you go to West Indian restaurants, you get like a little side. That's about it. That's as far as it gets.
It's like a little side of cabbage. I tear that little side up.
They be stingy with that. Cabbage don't cost nothing. Like
it do be like a little. It be like a garnish.
It be like, here you go.
And see, that's good for me. That's good for me. I be like, okay.
Nah, I love it. I be in there.
Listen.
But yeah, growing up, like for
you go.
Yeah, no, for us it was. I mean, you know, my family's West Indian, so that's what I ate. Like we had the chicken, brown stew, fried oxtail, goat, lots of curry goat. My mom used to make like.
I'm hungry.
I said I'm hungry. I'm like thinking about all this food. Like
about food.
My mouth watering.
But and y'all have all tasted my mom's food.
Yeah, that's why I'm like oxtail.
All tasted my mom's food. She would put her foot in that damn food. Like, so yeah, growing up, like it's funny because there's a meme that says like, don't nobody make more spaghetti than Black moms. Like
that was my mom.
And it's
that was my mom.
And that really wasn't but that's me. Like, I love me some spaghetti. Like, I'll just make it. But growing up, it was like, I remember my mom used to cook on Sunday. Like, she used to cook on Sunday, one day, and because she was full-time working, and it just used to last us. And then Friday, you know, we would get a treat. It was like McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, that's how it was. And she used to be throwing down peas and rice, excuse me. She really wasn't a big mac and cheese maker. Like we really didn't grow up on mac and cheese like that. But yeah, she used to be doing it.
See, my mom wasn't cooking every Sunday, but maybe she was. She's gonna see this and say. So I grew up on both. I grew up on both West Indian food and like regular, just like Black food. So like I would eat. Well, let me not say regular Black food, American Black food. So like I would eat fried chicken. I would eat, you know, peas and rice, you know, not if my mom was making it, like my grandparents were making it.
Yeah.
So fish, fried fish,
Yes.
And it wasn't regular fish. Like we didn't do baked fish. It was always fried.
Yeah.
And it was the whole head of fish, like the whole fish. At least in Caribbean culture, like it's like the whole fish. It's not like just the tail. It's like the whole fish.
The whole thing.
But yeah, I grew up on a lot of.
You eat the head? Either y'all eat the head?
I eat the head. I eat all of it.
I don't. I can't. The other day, my dad made some fish and he brought it over here, and the head was on it. I was like, and I told him, he was like, I ate it was good, but I ate everything but I do not eat the head. Like
I would try like to eat the meat, but I don't think I can eat like the whole thing, the eyeball.
I'll be all up in that fish. I'll be like, but yeah, like
you be like what, Money? Be like what?
All the flavor.
It's not like I ate these things like every day or every week. Like my mother was like, you get spaghetti this week type of mother, or you get fried chicken this week type of mother. You know, like regular foods, but like this was a consistent presence in my life as a kid, especially if I was with my grandparents, where I would eat like tostones or plantanos on my dad's side. For Christmas every year, we used to eat pernil, which is like basically, I mean, a lot of Latin countries make their own version, but most commonly people know like the Puerto Rican version.
Yeah.
So like, which is a Puerto Rican pork shoulder. I made some this past Christmas and it was so good. But yeah, so that's what I grew up eating, like rice and beans for the Panamanian side, because you know they don't call it peas and rice. But some Panamanians may, depending on how strong their Caribbean influence is in their culture. But yeah, so I grew up on a lot of different cultural food outside of just like your staple southern soul food. But we ate soul food, collard greens, all that.
Did I do roast beef too?
I didn't grow up eating. I've had it, but it's not like that wasn't something I would normally see at holidays or on like Sunday or Easter dinner or like in my family dinners.
Yeah, that was a staple for us too. My dad, so good.
Yeah, if it wasn't cultural, like if it wasn't like Black soul food or like Caribbean food, it was like spaghetti, lasagna.
Yeah, lasagna.
Spaghetti or fried chicken. Like my mother loved making her some lasagna, baked mac and cheese. Like, that's soul food, I guess.
Did y'all have chicken spaghetti? Like chopped up chicken breasts with spaghetti? It's good.
Really?
My mom used to do that.
I learned a lot about spaghetti as an adult in the Black culture because people like some people eat spaghetti baked, some people eat sugar in their spaghetti, like
fish and spaghetti.
Some people eat, I mean, I do like fish and fried chicken on the side of spaghetti, like that is good. But that wasn't like a staple.
So it's like now it's like spaghetti is a side, like it's not or it's part like because if I do spaghetti, it's just that with like some ground beef or whatever in it. But now it's like the spaghetti, and then you'll have the chicken, and then the fish. Like that's what I had the other day. I had fish and spaghetti.
That sounds real good.
Real good.
Oh. Does everybody know how to cook? And I just do what I can for people so that they can feed me. But my dad came in the house with the food. He was like DoorDash. So I thought he wanted to order some crab legs because I love crab legs. So he was like DoorDash. I was like, what you want? He was like, no, your DoorDash is on the counter, like the food that he brought. I was like, you're so funny. But it was good. I ate all that food. I love,
but that's how I ate spaghetti growing up. It was the main dish, but it wasn't until I got older where I realized. I don't know if it's like a Southern Black thing or what, but when I realized like spaghetti is to be eaten with fried chicken and rolls, like not garlic bread, but like dinner rolls.
Yeah. Like growing up too, like my mom, like she always cooked. Like we used to go anywhere we went. Like we used to go to Yankee games, and I remember this yellow lunch bag that they used to have, and my mom used to like fry chicken either like or very early that morning and like wrap it up in like individual pieces of foil, and it will be like the four of us, and she be taking the chicken out, handing it down to me and Kaylin. It was just not like eating out was just not, I didn't really understand. Like we would go to restaurants and stuff, but eating out was not really a thing until I turned like 13. Because I went to camp one summer, I went 2 months instead of one, because we used to either come to Florida, go to St. Thomas or whatever for the first month. And then she would send us, well, at least me, because Kaylin hated it. He would cry the whole time. But send me to camp the second month. One summer, she sent me for both months. When I tell y'all, I ate cheese fries every day. I put on 20 pounds. When that physical I had before I went back to school, the doctor was like, what are you doing? Like, I put on 20 pounds. I was eating out like all of this concession stand food and stuff like that because she just used to give me the money and go. But like, I didn't really understand. But before that, I'm telling you, I'm like, I know we used to look crazy at the baseball field. You want a piece? What you want? A leg or?
I think in the movie theater too.
Oh, the movie.
Oh God, wait. Were you there when Were you there when my mom had like a whole?
Yeah, had lobster. No, she had IHOP in the movie theaters.
She be rolling.
One
time we went to a Jamaican restaurant. She was eating fish in the movies, like you know what that smells like.
You gotta take the leftovers to the movies, like sometimes.
No, it wasn't the leftovers. It was the beginning. Like it was. We went from Jamaican restaurant to movie theater, and she was in there like.
Yeah,
their food be expensive. Like
now that I think about it, though, for the movies, why do we go so hard to bring snacks in the movies?
I don't go that. Yeah, you got the big ass purse,
son. And then my mom.
We gotta stop at a Dollar Tree before we go. We gotta get
all the snacks. Like, why are we ODs? Why are we going
and dare somebody to ask to look in our purse? Like,
they used to be heavy on that.
They don't do that no more. They don't do it no more.
I never remember that. Like. Remember them looking in our purses or anything like? Well,
sometimes I think some of them occasionally did, like in the like when I was young. Yeah. I feel like that was a thing, like actually, but now they don't. And now they should because all the movie theater shootings that done happen, they should. But either way, I digress.
No, ain't no more movie theaters. It's Corona.
No, there's movies.
HBO Max. See, and that's the crazy thing. I saw something on Hollywood Unlocked where it said like. Somebody got into a fight in the movie theater about being shushed or something. And my first thought was like, y'all still going to the movies? Like, I figure like maybe because nobody's going to the movies, you could go, but HBO Max, they got everything. Like they're literally streaming all the movies there because of this. So no, I do not see myself going back to movies anytime soon.
Yeah. You know, something else that I realized was different as I got older with Black people, pasta salad. Because I always thought you made it with like a certain noodle. I forgot what that noodle is called. Is it rotini or something like that?
The spiral.
The spiral, yeah.
When I got older, it went down south. Really, it was college when I first seen this. And maybe when I moved to Maryland, I might have seen this too. But really in Virginia, I seen it. Where they use spaghetti noodles for their pasta, for their pasta salad, and I thought that was so weird. Like in Baltimore they do it, in Virginia they do it like regular spaghetti noodles.
Wait. Yeah, I think we need to define what was pasta salad.
Pasta salad?
Pasta salad, like cold pasta noodles with vegetables and some dressing.
The long noodles?
They use spaghetti. Yeah. I never.
I mean, that's why I said define it, just to make sure I wasn't tripping. Because I have never seen it with spaghetti noodles. Ew.
It tastes the same, but at first I was like, "What's this? Y'all ran out of noodles?" Like, what? I thought it was like when I first seen it, I thought it was like a temporary fix. Like, we ain't had no them other noodles.
Yeah. I thought you was gonna say penne noodles.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to use the spiral noodles. I forget what they're called. I think they're called rotini.
I think that's
I think so.
But people down south, like, and yes, Maryland to me is the South. It's past
it is.
Time.
It is. Anything under New Jersey is South.
They use spaghetti.
Anything south of New York, like
south of New York is South. Okay.
Anything south of New York, y'all some Bahamas.
Listen, you cross that bridge going to New Jersey. I'm like, where's the buildings? It's flat.
But yeah, that's another thing I noticed was different in Black culture, like how people eat pasta salad and how people eat spaghetti. Those were like two very distinct, different things, Black-wise.
Yeah.
But you know what for the most part, remains the same? Cleaning your chicken.
Oh. No, that's different in the Black community too, I think.
Do y'all clean in the sink too? How do y'all do that?
I clean my sink out first. Okay. But I use vinegar.
So, when I say cleaning it, I mean just the fact that it's getting clean, whether it's cutting board, whether it's in the sink, whether it's whatever. I mean, like that's different. So some people do it in the sink, some people do it on the cutting board. I grew up seeing it done on the cutting board. I'd never seen it like you have the bowl in the sink, you scrape it, blah blah blah, do all that good stuff. But I meant the just the principle of chicken being clean.
I don't put it like on the sink, like it's in something.
Yeah, it's like
no, I've seen in the sink.
In the sink. Yeah. Like touching the
I
sink.
won't have it touch the sink because the idea that my dirty dishes
bowl.
no, it's always in a bowl,
Okay.
and I'm like washing as I go and gutting it, getting all the nasty stuff and throwing it in. I got the trash right next to me. Yeah, I don't have it touch this sink. I mean, I do clean this sink. I'm not gonna. I want y'all to think like I had dishes in this sink and then
some people. I think that's a Black American thing to clean.
I don't let it
touch the sink. Because I've seen people like clean the sink, put the meat in there, and then clean the sink again after. But I mean, I don't clean chicken, but when I see it done, it's in the bowl. I don't
like going on a cutting board because I get nervous with like cross contamination in the kitchen and like things juices getting other places on the surface of the counter. So I always put it in a big bowl. I clean the sink out and I put it in a big bowl in the sink. And I have my vinegar, and I have my salt, and I have my lime, and that's how I clean. I don't use no soap.
Can I tell you something else? Oh my God! When I was one of my exes, one time we were talking about like cooking, and remember last night we were talking about it, and I said I don't eat from people. I don't eat from people. Like
my neighbors were nice enough to drop off some treats. Egypt wouldn't eat the treats neither.
I thought about it. I was like,
Egypt was like, are they Black?
That's what I said. But then when he was like, your answer, I was like, well, I'm still not eating from them. So he was we were talking about like cleaning chicken. I mean, I know he was a little slow anyway, but he said like something about cleaning chicken and putting it under hot water. And again, I don't cook, but
hot water?
Yes. I'm like, was you trying to boil it in the sink? Like, what was you, the way my mother looked at him, she was like,
pre-cook it.
He was like, yeah, you just scrape it and you put it under the hot water. That's how I know you do it, because you were specific about the hot water. You wasn't just specific about water, you were specific about hot water. Like, and that's why I don't, and then like one time we talked about going for Thanksgiving, I was like, well, Thanksgiving is my family's holiday. Like, I could go early I could come early, like, and hang out with your family before y'all eat, and then come back and eat with my family. But I'm not, because I was like, I'm not eating over here.
Y'all should comment. Whoever's watching should comment on a YouTube video or comment on our Instagram. Like, how do you clean your meats? Because everybody does do it. I do agree with Kiana that I think a universal thing that Black people do, which I love, is that we clean our meat.
Clean it up.
Clean ourselves too. Like,
nasty chicken is nasty as hell.
Yeah.
I don't like to clean the whole chicken. Kaylin do that on my mom. Nope. The most I could do is chicken breast, get the little clean it up, chop it up. I could do a little wing too, like take the little hairs off. And
let me say something. The last time we had a party, the parties we used to have in New York, and Lauren is watching this. We were cleaning chicken. This one she used to have the box of chicken, like big box of chicken, and she had
from the butcher.
Yeah, this was like long time ago, and my mom had us there scraping. Oh, the thought of it, I'm sorry, it makes me nauseous. Like, I really hate the sight of it. But she had us like there scraping or whatever, and Laura was doing it. She went through up. Oh. She went through up. She was so sick. She was trying so hard. She's like, okay. So I peel it back. I'm like, yeah, you peel it back, you scrape it, you cut this little nasty piece off, and she was like, okay. And then she got, I don't know how many pieces she got into. Lord bless her heart, she tried. But we had her do something else because she couldn't even stomach it. She was like, she like ran up the steps.
Then y'all really wouldn't like cleaning pernil or pork before cooking it, because you gotta cut the fat off. And it's like a lot of fat.
Yeah.
And you gotta like make slits in the meat and stuff it with the garlic and the cilantro or culantro, whatever you use. Like, it's nasty.
You know what I do? I do ham. I clean a ham.
Pork shoulder is a little different. Pork shoulder a little different. But I'm like, that really have you feeling sick.
Yeah. I'll eat it though, but
do y'all eat chitlins? Well, I'm gonna ask.
Nah.
Oh my God, no. I saw one video.
Smell.
I saw one video of how they clean it. I'm like, this is a shit transmitter. Like, you're eating shit.
No. That's why eating.
Right.
Yeah, I know, right? One time when we was in Virginia, again, me and Lauren, poor Lauren, and Brandon and them, because they country, love y'all, but y'all country as hell. they were getting chitlins, and like we were at a restaurant, we ate, and then they took it to go, and we were like, you have to put it in the trunk. Like, seriously, put it in the trunk because ew.
It smells, but I actually don't mind. I didn't grow up eating it because it's not something. We're not from the South.
Yeah.
We're not from southern states here in America. So I didn't grow up eating it.
We're not from southern states.
Have y'all tried it though?
But I've had it, and it's not bad with hot sauce. Like I will say,
stinks.
it just smells. It's not a bad taste. The texture may be.
You know what? It's like funny because there's chitlins. Then you have like chicken feet. West Indian people eat. When I tell you from the entire chicken, the whole chicken, you're getting chicken foot. Yeah, the claw. You're getting.
They be eating frog.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just crazy. Like you have that
of an animal like frog legs. Why you going? I feel like it's a waste. No.
No, because you eating a whole animal. Like nothing goes to waste in cooking culture.
We're not letting animals. Like you got pig feet. When I say the pig, you got cow foot soup, you got pig feet soup, you got chicken foot soup. Like
work for that. Especially the chicken feet. You gotta.
Because it's but it does give the soups flavor, but I can't eat it because I can't do chicken feet.
It's kind of like it's for the flavor. Some of it is for the flavor.
The nails be on it.
The nails be on it. The nails do be on it.
See, I personally cannot. I draw the line with that.
Yeah.
I'll do alligator. I'll do like a lot. I
want to try alligator.
It's good. I'm adventurous.
It's cool.
I'm adventurous with my meats, but when it comes and I'm a little more.
That's what you said.
I'm a little bit more bold because I grew up eating oxtail or eating meats that are not like.
Everybody eat oxtail now. It's damn $9 a pound. Now
because I don't feel like I grew up with a lot of friends who were not Caribbean that ate it. Like that, I didn't know that Southern Black people made it. They make it a different way. Yeah. But I didn't know that it was like something that American Blacks ate regularly. I thought it was just a West Indian thing. So for the
most part it was. The oxtail was a part of the meat that they used to throw out. And that's why, how it became part of our culture is eating because it was cheaper. So, but now they be doing all types of stuff like oxtail macaroni, oxtail
pasta.
Yeah, it's cool, but like, damn, this shit's so expensive.
Yeah, oxtail is. I be seeing that makes oxtail affordable again. Like, cause all y'all eating it now. Y'all all buying it up. It's pricey, but apparently Southern Blacks been making it. I did not know that, but apparently that's been one of their things. I never saw that in a soul food restaurant, but
it tastes more like steak though.
It's different. It has a whole different taste
like deliciousness.
Yeah. Either way, I love it. I don't care if it's Southern Black or West Indian. I'll eat it either way.
I've had Southern Black because I don't eat for people. So
one thing about food though. Have y'all ever brought food to work, heated it up, and then somebody come out of nowhere? What's that?
All the time. All the time.
I feel like no, because most people mind their business. And I used to eat out a lot when I worked in person too. So
it used to be that way when I worked. So when I worked for child welfare, I worked with mostly Black people. So it was always, people always had weird stuff anyway. But when I worked with white folk, it was oh my God, it's food.
Really delicious. My lunch never smells like that. I'm like, what are you eating?
I don't put that in your food. This is season 2.
I'm all about expanding myself culture-wise, but I have a Russian colleague, and she was introducing, I used to introduce her to some of like the food that I ate in my culture, and she would tell me about some of the food that Russians would eat, and I'm like, it's a lot of mayonnaise, everything's cold, a lot of purple stuff. I'm like, and not disrespecting it.
Because like purple cabbage?
I won't disrespect somebody else's cultural food ever, because somebody may think our cultural food is weird.
Some of the stuff we just said is cow feet, pig feet.
Yeah, like we eat chicken feet and all types of stuff. So it's, look, some of the stuff we eat ain't that good neither. But
stuff we eat, I don't even eat. So go ahead.
I was like, wow, like, this is different. Yeah. I don't think I could ever adapt to this.
Nah.
I like my food. Listen, my grandfather used to say I like my food hot, and I like my food hot, like hot, like spice.
Yeah.
So,
but we got the best food. I think Black people, we have a lot of diversity. I think people just think that we have soul food, but we have Ethiopian food. And like honestly, like we have Ethiopian food, we have Nigerian food, we have so many foods within Black culture. I haven't even tried yet. I want to try all type. I definitely want to try Ethiopian food. I still have not done that. So it's not just soul food and fried chicken. Like Black people got so many different things, and I was seeing that girl Aaliyah J on YouTube go viral because I guess she
had Indian food and she was like
African food and like the TikTok, because it was like a TikTok thing, like everybody was eating African food for some reason on TikTok. So and then she like they said it tastes like dog food or whatever, and I'm like
dog food,
and I'm like yes, all foods range and definitely taste different, and it made me realize as an adult, like wow, like there's so many aspects of Black culture I still haven't even dipped my toe in yet. But you can still respect people's culture.
Exactly.
Like,
it's a difference between like no thanks and like ew, that's nasty. Like
I see somebody doing that to my culture. I mean, I'm like whatever, like I eat it anyway. But I'll be like, damn, ain't nobody saying the most. Yeah, anybody say to go in there.
You're doing the most. You doing the damn most.
Like, you know how Black people feel about disrespecting food. Like, you know, we have a lot of things like, you know, you don't turn down food when you enter people's house because it seems rude, or you know, like.
Listen, I got in that habit because when I used to work child welfare, people used to ask me, I'm like, miss, I'm not here for your food. I'm here to interview your children. I'm not eating.
Well, that's different. You want a job, like.
I know, but yeah, like you don't. And I listen, and that's the whole other story with Thanksgiving. I'm like, that's how I'm gonna go before y'all start eating, because I already made my mind I'm not eating. So before they don't like me, you introducing me as your girlfriend that don't eat their food, because I'm not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna eat it. I'm just not gonna eat what I don't want to eat. You clean chicken with hot water, I'm not eating that.
They pre-cook
it,
Kiana.
Honestly, we don't really know how many restaurants we done ate at and ate some chicken and they only cleaned it with hot water.
Listen, and I pray over it. I'm gonna pray over it. But if I know, I'm not eating it.
Nah.
And when I say I don't eat from people, I mean like strangers, like because you know. I eat from y'all. Like, it's like potlucks at work.
No.
That's not happening. Like, I'm sorry. Like, y'all know I'm not really an animal person or whatever, but people be having animals in the kitchen on the counter. Like, that is nasty. I'm sorry. That's nasty. Thinking about it from a restaurant perspective, right? When the food department comes in, they check for animal hair. They check the temperature of the water, because it has to be boiled or it has to be certain cold or whatever the case. Like, I just don't eat from people. I might bake you something. Do you want to try it right now?
No. We be thinking about them at my job. We make sure.
We don't do them.
My office, we usually host the parties, and then there's another office that hosts the parties, and they're like us. So we make sure we know who's cooking.
Yeah, I love it. When we used to do it where in child welfare, they would order from a restaurant and then other people would bring stuff. So, and I was that person with my plate. Where'd that come from? Oh, that came from, let me get that. It came from the restaurant. Who I know that. Okay.
Did you try my macaroni?
Hell no.
I'll take some.
No. My boss was not with that. She was like, people's houses, like.
Especially now.
And especially since I've been, like, I used to go to people's houses and just see things. Like, do you know how many, like, roaches I've seen crawling on walls? I had to act like it wasn't there. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, I couldn't do that. I just had to act like I'm like, okay, so where you take the kids to the doctor? Okay. And, all right.
Let's get to the next topic.
Yes,
we talking about roaches now.
Okay, next topic is Black girl problems.
Black girl problems.
Problems.
This is what people consider to be problems, but these aren't problems to us. Why?
I don't have a problem.
Because we lit, and that's what makes us lit, and it's a part of us.
I ain't got a problem.
And I really think it's because people be hating on us.
Yeah.
On Black. Oh,
they mad.
I had to block somebody last night with his hating ass. Dre. That's his name.
What? She dropping?
What? I don't even know what Like a sip of that.
That's what she called me about last night, Egypt, where I said she kept me up on the phone.
You know, we don't say names on this show out of respect, but sometimes you just got. I told him, I said, you know, I'm gonna tag you on social media. Just put your business out there.
That's about as free promo as it's gonna get.
As free promo. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, like, you know, when I talk, oh my gosh, your hair is just, I could never do that. My hair is just like, when I don't know. There's somebody else go first. I have too many thoughts and I don't want to be disrespectful.
What do you consider to be black girl problem? It's not a problem.
I don't want to be disrespectful.
Who be hating on us and say we got problems?
Everybody be hating. First of
all, black people.
Ooh. What'd you say?
She said black women or black people.
Well, you didn't say black girl problems. Never mind.
Oh, girl, yeah.
Never mind.
I do feel like women get singled out more than the men.
Hello, we just talked about that last night. Everything. And this, we, you know, kind of reference it, you know, go back and watch our other episode, y'all. But with black women, it's everything is like, it's a little off topic, but
yeah,
it's like, oh, well, y'all should. Everybody got something to say about what we doing.
Nobody's talking about you.
Nobody, like, mind you can't do this if you don't have this. You can't do this if you don't this. And it's just like, we're chilling. Like, we're good. We good. Like, nobody, literally to me, nobody. Shh.
I'm gonna just tell everybody shut up. Like, this year, sit this one out with the black women comments.
Sit
and
this one out.
Like, save the whole world this year single-handedly. At least sit this 1 year out. At least take 1 year to just shut up. But go ahead.
Oh, you go.
Okay, I was gonna just say skin color, like number one. Because, for example, I was in a nail salon yesterday, and they were talking about something else about the lady who does my nails. She's from Vietnam. So the other lady, she was trying to talk to me, but through the accent and the mask, I just had to I was like, oh, okay, like I didn't understand one word she was saying. So the other girl was telling me about we were talking about just being uncomfortable in COVID, like having masks on or whatever. And she was saying in Vietnam, we cover ourselves. So then the girl doing my nails, she was like, no, that's just because y'all don't want to get dark. And I was like, that's what she said. I was like, oh, is that a thing? You know, like, is that a thing with the skin color over there? So she was like, yeah. And she started to like tell me like they just don't, because she's kind of tan. So she was saying like, you know, she doesn't, like when she goes there, they're like, oh, you're so dark and stuff like that. But listen, bake me, okay? Bake me, turn me over, burn. Like, y'all see how dark I get when I get tanned? Like, I be like, oh, I'm like, why couldn't I be born that color? Like, so to me, it's not a problem. I live for it. Like, and it's funny because again, going back to like growing up, it's like, oh, I don't want to get dark, or you're gonna be black.
I was so little. Because I would go from one color to like, I would go in the summer. I would go to the other end of the spectrum. And I used to be like so insecure about it because the media told you to be insecure.
Too. Ooh, yeah. Like a cookie, like, okay, what does that mean? What's the
problem? Now, you know, now that we're older, we realize how wrong that is.
Yeah.
And
hindsight is 2020, and we're not judging our 10-year-old selves, remember? Okay.
Oh, no.
Reference last episode for that.
We're not judging our 10-year-old selves.
If it's such a problem, why y'all spending money to get this melanin?
Okay.
I know right now. I look like the table.
It's okay. It's still brown. It's just a different shade. Still brown.
Soon coming out. Sun coming out soon. Wow. You know what we gonna do? We gonna post our selves and our tan selves. That's what we gonna do.
Like, I gotta post my little girl pictures because you ain't gonna recognize baby mommy. He's like, whoa.
We gotta do that.
We gonna see, because I get dark. I get really dark. Like, ugh. And it don't make no sense because I live in Florida now, but I've been inside because I work inside now. So it's like,
you looking regular right now.
Regular, like I'm in New York.
It's okay. Like, I don't care. Both my complexions is beautiful. Summertime.
Okay.
I love both melanin shades. Both shades is valuable. Both is beautiful and both is melanated. I just happen to get more melanated in the summertime, and I like when I get more melanated, just like I like when I'm not as melanated in the wintertime.
Let me
both are brown.
Embrace my skin.
Both are brown.
Embrace.
Okay.
All right, now let me tell y'all about my first experience when I knew somebody was hating on me. To high school economics and finance. I always stood up for myself.
She got a class.
So there were a lot of Asian students in my school.
And this is in New York, by the way.
Yes. So
a smart school.
I don't know if y'all had this trend. Listen, there was a trend where you wore tights, like the see-through tights with shorts on top of it. Did y'all ever see that?
That was I didn't do it, but I remember that era.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know anything about fashion because I wore a uniform all my life. So I didn't wear that.
And when I was a little girl, it was the jean skirt over top of the tight.
Yeah. So they did shorts. This was maybe junior year.
I remember this era. I do.
And these girls, Asian women, they're typically skinnier, like thin, like And when I was in high school, I was not thick at all. Like I'm gonna show y'all the picture. I was skinny like a twig.
Yeah.
So principal ain't never say nothing to them, not once. And when I say they shorts, they're like this. And you're not supposed to wear shorts. They're supposed to be up to your knees, whatever. So he would always get on the black girls for their shorts being too short, send them home. Don't come to school like this, call their parents. So I came in with my tights and my silk shorts.
They were silk.
No booty, no curves, no nothing. Not that this should be a problem. No, nothing.
Another problem.
He calls me to the principal office and tells me that I cannot wear that in school. You know what I said? I said, well, what about the girls that wear them all the time that don't look like me? And he just ignored what I said.
Of course.
He ignored what I said. And y'all know I made a big fuss about that. Y'all know I made a big fuss about it.
He was like, no. And another thing.
Egypt is not quiet, y'all. Like, Egypt is not a quiet person. Like, she may seem like it, but if you get to her, I made a big deal.
That's this.
Okay, that is very true. I do think that Black women are singled out when it comes to fashion. And we touched on, I know you said you did not have the curves and you said it should not be a problem, but that is the true. Like, remember that teacher that went viral because of the dresses, and the dresses weren't inappropriate, and then it was a whole thing because people were sexualizing her. I do think Black women and Black girls particularly are overly sexualized.
Absolutely.
And whether we have curves or no curves at the time, like, if we wear something, it's automatically deemed inappropriate. And I think that's a huge Black girl problem, which sucks because you want to embrace your curls. I mean, your curves and your curls, but your curves. But if you wear certain things, you're going to automatically feel like you look like a video vixen. Yeah. And then you see somebody else in it and you're like, they look fine.
Yeah.
And I was, how I noticed that when I was in college? Well, I always knew that, but in college, there's different, Kiana and I went to PWI, so we were in a historically Black college. I mean, historically Black sorority, but there were, historically, there were white sororities on campus. And so they would...
The first Black sorority there too.
Okay. And when they would wear their business attire, I mean, it would be like bodycon dresses. And stuff like that. And I'm like, Black women could never wear bodycon dresses. And I noticed that too. And I could be wrong, but I feel like I've noticed that with business attire or like semi-business attire, like people who are not Black, they be wearing like
whatever
bodycon type stuff, but it don't look clubby.
Club attire with a blazer.
They will club attire with a blazer, but you wouldn't even nobody even blinks an eye. But like with Black women, if we were to wear club attire with a blazer, we look like we going to the club. And I noticed how just the difference in that immediately, especially in college, because that's what they would wear to their chapter meetings, and we'd be in Mormon skirts.
Black blazer with the tights.
Yeah, like with the new tights or the white side. Like we was.
Oh Lord, and you better be right. You better be right, because if not, you ain't getting in.
So it's definitely, I think that Black women's bodies are overly policed and definitely overly sexualized. And it's a Black girl problem, but it ain't a problem for me, boo. Show that booty. Show them boobies.
I'm aware what I want to wear. Like
all the way up to the neck.
Show it, girl. Let it out. For real.
Yeah.
We always gotta hide our body because it's like apparently it's offensive. It's offensive because grown men can't control themselves, and that honestly came from slavery, sexualizing.
Oh, please! I was just about to go there.
It came from slavery. You see old cartoon like caricature drawings and stuff of African women. The way they would draw us would be like these huge butts, like over dramatized,
got them on display,
and I'm like.
It was like a circus freak type of thing.
Yeah, it was like and it was like offensive. Yeah. And so that's where, so now Black women's bodies are offensive to society. Apparently they distract kids who don't even know what a butt is.
Right.
Exactly. But the thing is, with it not being my problem, the offense you take, that's your problem. Grow up. That's too bad. If you want to have the titties out, I'm going to put them out. When it's appropriate, of course. But
we ain't gonna put the nipple out. But the point is, there's nothing wrong with like you have like I don't have like the hugest butt, but I have curves. I have a butt. I have thighs. And
nah, so, you got a little wagging back there. I noticed that in the video in the Jumba.
Somebody was like, that thing is thangin'. Shout out to the person who saw this and know they said that. But like, and people, y'all said that too. With I think Asian man said that at the wedding. That thing is plugging out.
Because you know why you always be saying that. You be like, I don't got the hugest, but you got a thing.
You got a booty
mind, child. You know.
But when I wear certain things, it looks a lot different than people who are smaller than me. Because I'm not.
You had on spandex and it was thangin'. Like it was. That's it.
I always feel inappropriate compared to somebody else when I wear like a peplum top and leggings, for example, because you know a peplum top really makes you look thick. And so I'm like, Black women, we always gotta cover our bodies, and there's nothing offensive about the fact that my pants just happen to curve a certain way because that's where my butt hooks. Like
I make myself, man. That's the other part of it. Like I didn't choose any of this. One day I just started to exist. I didn't have a choice in the matter, but I'm making a choice to love myself. That's what I'm doing. I'm making a choice to embrace my little flat booty, big booty, all of that stuff. Like I'm making that decision. And if you don't like it, that's not my problem. That's not my problem.
Like, why are you offended by my like ask yourself, why are you offended by my butt? Like if sometimes I tell people like the things that we've deemed inappropriate in society, I think we really need to ask ourselves, what makes it inappropriate? And if your only reasoning is because other men can't control themselves,
right,
then that sounds like a man problem, not a woman problem. That sounds like you need to check yourself if you can get if you distracted by a body part. That's not my problem. You sound dumb. Like
you are really dumb.
You are really dumb. And I think Kiana and I've had this conversation too about like what people who have like fathers in their home, like what do you wear around them and what you don't, because some people are like real sensitive about when their kid, and I get it when their kid gets older, but
you shouldn't be around that kind of person.
But you should, but then that's your daddy. Like
you have to think like that. What kind of
I'm not saying be butt naked and walk around the house, but it's just there's some things where I'm like, y'all really like women who can't, like girls who their mothers told them to stop wearing, usually Black girls, stop wearing like certain shorts around the house, like pajama shorts and stuff like that around the house.
Yep. And that also, that comes from a generation of just like, again, men who can't control themselves.
That's nasty.
Because it's even like, I don't know, like I grew up, in the house with my dad, my uncles would come around, and I bloomed very early. I had boobs very early. And like, for me, I always like, what'd you say?
She was shaking her head still, like, yeah, them things.
These things be thinking, okay?
Okay, them things be thinking.
But I, like, growing up, and now in hindsight, it was my own insecurity. Like, I always had to have a bra on. It wasn't like, my mom was never like, make sure you have a bra on, make sure they can't see your nipples. Like, for me, that was a big thing growing up. Like, people could see your nipples. I felt like it was like, no one should be able to see that when it's a natural thing that happens. Like, I can't help it, But now, please.
You in my
get
right. You don't like panty lines and bra lines. I'm like, at least I got one on.
Growing up, I used to be like, oh my God, if you could see, as if you don't know what's there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could see my panty line, if you could see, panty lines, that's a whole other topic where seamless panties sometimes, ladies.
It may not make the outfit look as cute, but you don't need to be ashamed of it.
Yes, that was my thing. Like I was ashamed of it. Like you can see my nipples, or like you can see, and that was well into my 20s. Like that was I used to like, even when we used to go on vacations, like if I'm buying a bathing suit, I'm like, no, I have to make sure that you cannot see. Like if I'm wet on the beach, like it's gonna happen, So now that's why I say, like, now when I say I don't care, it's not just like there has been thought that has gone into this. There's been a long history of like me learning to love myself and all this kind of stuff. So when I say I don't care, I don't care. Like I'm not trying to be nasty about it, but it's been a long road.
That was my response to my last night. I don't care.
I don't care. Like when I'm saying I don't care, it's not just like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Like I don't, but it didn't just come, like it took a long time for me to think about it. I've had conversations about it. I've been insecure about it. Like I've come from a place where I probably did care at one point, but then I realized it's your problem, not mine.
So now, that's what people bother me about people. Like they'll bring problems that have to do with them to me. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Exactly.
Like,
especially Imani, like, I be telling you, the other day we was on the phone and I was like, Imani said something. We were talking about something completely different. And she said, I'm going to stop doing this. And I just was like, I just want you to stop apologizing. I know you didn't ask me that, but
I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't know what we were talking about, but she said something. And I was just like, I just want you to stop apologizing. Because she told me about something that she did. And I was just like, what are you apologizing for? I mean, I'm probably not the best person to ask, but what are you apologizing for? Like,
it was the way I reacted about the dog situation. Because I was mad apologetic. I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It was a while ago. Not a while. I don't know time anymore. And
you said the other day.
You didn't say the other day.
It was like maybe a month ago, within the last month.
That is not the other day.
The other month.
Within the last month. Listen, the other day to Black people is from the time you was born to today.
For real.
Too much.
For real. But not for real. Like I don't think that we overly apologize for things that sometimes, and I told somebody this, the same person I had to block last night a while ago, before he was blocked before that. I don't care. I'm being very transparent. Whatever.
We should do an episode on that.
On block.
I had the block.
The block list is strong, but
block list is
the things that we make Black people, particularly Black women, because we're talking about Black girl problems, apologize for or feel ashamed of is like, why?
It's who you are. You cannot help it. Like,
and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, one of the things on our list, which I consider to be a Black girl problem, is like hair wraps. So I remember having this conversation with a few people, and I was like, how do you, do you look at, like, if I were to walk outside, my hair wraps up, like in my doobie, like with my hair on my bonnet, is that ghetto? And everybody was like, yeah, that's ghetto. That's what's ghetto. And I'm like, okay, so let's take a minute and ask ourselves, why is it ghetto? What makes it ghetto? Exactly. And nobody, because society told you it's ghetto. Like white people told you it's ghetto. And but that's our culture. I love waking up to a house full of Black women with their headscarves on.
Yes.
I love when me and my homegirls around. I was on FaceTime the other day with my two good girlfriends, and two of us had our headscarves on. Sierra and I did, and Ashley was like, "Y'all made me want to go put mine on right now too."
Aww.
Like it's like it's a cultural thing. Like
you said just wait. Okay, rewind. You said walking out with it or just having it?
Walking outside with it, period. Like, and I'm not talking about like what Kiana has on, like the turban. I'm talking about like if I would have run outside to the store, or like how like when you go to the Dominican salon and it's raining, you go to the Dominican salon and it's raining, and you're not about to unwrap your hair because it's raining. Like it's gonna frizz up. That's a waste of money. And people consider that to be ghetto, or like people apologize. I'm like, but what makes it ghetto?
Yeah, I think for me, it's more like to walk with my hair wrapped outside. I don't see what's ghetto about it. I'm preserving. This isn't preservation. It's a protective style, okay? Exactly. But for me, like bonnets and stuff, like I have like I don't know, maybe it's where I was raised or whatever, but it's just like your sleep clothes. Like you're going outside, this is your sleep clothes. Like just take it off. Like just.
I get that, but what makes it ghetto inappropriate? And that's my issue, is that we police it.
I think so because again, I feel like you have your house clothes and then you have your street clothes. Like that's just where, or like what you went to sleep in last night, you're not going outside in. That's just my thing.
But that's just a cleanliness problem.
Yeah. That's what I see it as. So I'm not saying necessarily it's ghetto. I just don't like to see ghetto.
That's what I'm asking. So, but what makes it ghetto or inappropriate? That's a preference, but what makes it ghetto or inappropriate or offensive? That's what we're trying to get down to.
Yeah, no, it ain't offensive.
What about what makes it ghetto though?
So then you just said it's a preference. So then maybe it's just my preference.
And that's why I think people need to be careful with their word choice, because for so long we've told people that this is ghetto. If I have a headscarf on my head,
I think the thing is defining what is ghetto too. Like because ghetto is like is like mostly for Black people. Like, oh, you ghetto, it's offensive to us. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. In this year of, you know what's ghetto to me? This whole the fact that we have to have Black Lives Matter is ghetto to me, because y'all don't know how to act. That's to me, the fact that we have to say that, not our behavior, y'all behavior that's ghetto. Like with y'all, you know, I'm sorry and with chains and all that, that's ghetto. Y'all look ghetto as hell. Y'all shouldn't have came out the house like that. So I think it's like defining it. So yeah, you are right. Like
society has defined it, and I think we have to unlearn it, because we just naturally say it. We just naturally like, that's ghetto. Oh, she look ghetto. Or this. But then you have to check yourself and be like, well, what makes it? Because let's be real. Back in whatever 18, 17, 1600s, whatever you want to call it, white women was walking around with bonnets and petticoats. Okay, that was a form of fashion. People in other religions walk around with their hair wrapped up. When it's raining, you be seeing people outside with them ugly, no offense, but them ugly, you know what I'm talking about? Them like, and they wrap it around your, and that look like a bonnet to me. But you protecting yourself.
It's just a clear.
So I'm just like, but if a Black woman's walking outside with a headscarf or a bonnet, even though you're wearing a plastic one to protect yourself, but when a Black woman does it, it's ghetto.
Right.
And I also think it's a part of educating as well. Like we always come back to this, because again, in high school, when my hair was permed, I used to get it done at the Dominicans, wrap it up. But senior year, I had gym 4 times a week. That's a long story. But we ran every day, and this was first period. We ran, my hair would be sweating, perm. My hair would be sweating, and then I'd go upstairs to class, and I'm still sweating, sweat coming down, start poofing up. I was like, I'm gonna have to do something. So I started coming to school first thing in the morning with my hair wrapped, and I did not unwrap it until lunchtime. And did I care? Did I care? No. Did other people care? Yes. But guess what?
Exactly.
I'm doing this to preserve my hairstyle that I spend money on getting a freaking blowout every other week. Like, you gonna pay for it?
And somebody would call that ghetto. Like, just seeing you with your hair wrapped up with a scarf or a bonnet on top of the doobie, somebody be like, oh, that's ghetto. And I'm like, why?
Ghetto. This is a part of my culture. I'm preserving my hair and I look beautiful. And what you gonna do?
No. What you gonna do about it?
Period. So that's a Black girl problem that I think that and names like Shaniqua or names with Q's in them is another thing where it's like, who told you that's ghetto? White people? Yeah. White people say Shaniqua's ghetto. White people say
Shaniqua.
What'd
you say?
It's a sister name.
Oh, but think about it. When we see those names, we automatically say that's ghetto.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, some people think Kiana is ghetto. Kiana is becoming more. Kiana is becoming more popular now. Not the way I spell it, but I know Kiana is very popular.
Yeah. I know a lot of Kianas. Not a lot, but I've seen
enough. Yeah.
I know enough.
Kiana. You talking to the best one. Okay.
Ooh.
But I feel like those are the two things that people have like just put a lot of emphasis on.
Yeah.
And I absolutely again love my name. Like I love it. Like I play on it. I've researched it like now, of course, because like when I say I don't care, I've come from like thinking it was ghetto. Like, what's Kiana? It's this, it's that. Like, is it Kiana? Is it Kiana? Is it like what do I want to be called? Like, you know, so now it's like, wait, what did you say, Adrian?
I said the attendance role is the worst when they can't read nobody's name, but it be simple names. Like, come on.
Like, I don't really think I don't remember having that problem. My problem is when people spell it out. And I'm spelling it for you, or it's written there, and it's Keianna. I before E, except in Kiana, right? And you still spell it Kie. Like, wait.
Yeah, because I think people are not used to that spelling, so that makes sense. I mean,
that one is right in front of you.
Yeah. Or if you tell them, how to spell it.
Literally, my email is it's Kiana. It doesn't get any easier than that. People will write it in the thing and then still spell it wrong on the next line. Like, come on. Like, but the thing is, I'm gonna correct you every time.
Mm-hmm. And as you should.
Every time.
As you should.
It's Kiana. Keianna. Okay.
I remember, what's her name from Orange is the New Black? I always use this as an example.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if it was a TED Talk or a talk.
It was a talk, yep.
And I don't know her full name. If somebody does, you can say it.
Let me see if I can find it.
Somebody, I think her name on the show is Crazy Eyes.
It's Crazy Eyes, but it's I know what you're talking about.
And and she was saying in her talk, she was like, her mother was like, what's her name?
Uzumaka.
So her mother, but I think she said something short for it, like Uzo.
It's Uzo. Uzo. Because here it says, like, when you put in Crazy Eyes, it says Uzo Adu, Lord. Her last name.
Forgive us. We're working on it. We're going.
No, but but for her first name, it is shortened here. But the whole thing, like in the talk she was talking about, was Uzumaki.
Yeah, and so she asked her mom to like call her something else when she came home one day, and her mother was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Because the kids and the teachers, they can't pronounce it." And she was like, "If they can learn Michelangelo, if they can learn
Galileo, all these different names."
She's like, they can learn your name. Exactly. And I'm like, yes, like, and that's why when people be acting like long names with a bunch of Q's and I's and vowels and stuff is in them, that it's ghetto or annoying or inappropriate, or, you know, we teach in Black culture, like, don't name your kids certain things if you want them to have jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And again, society told you that. Mm-hmm. I learned that.
You know what? And it's still being promoted. There is a commercial. I think it's for Indeed. I don't know, but it annoys me because, or it's for a degree, it's for something. But it says, the girl on it says, you know, I was having problems applying for jobs because people were assuming my name. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. People were assuming by my name that I didn't speak English. Mm-hmm. What? Is your resume not in English? What? That is the dumbest thing I'm like, you know what? And the next time I see it, I'm gonna record it. That is the dumbest thing I've ever.
Record it or record it?
Huh?
You're gonna record or report it?
I'm gonna record it, and then I'm gonna show it to you. I should report it. It's stupid as hell. It's stupid. People thought by my name I didn't speak English. If you wanted to say by my name that I was Black, fine. But that I didn't speak a language, how could you assume that? How could you assume that my name means that I cannot? That thing got me so hot every time I hear it. Like, and I know it's on like Hulu and stuff because that's all I watch. So and I'm gonna see it again, and I'm gonna record it, and I'm gonna put it up because it's dumb as hell.
Right.
That's ignorant. I don't think they thought that through.
No. And it's the girl, like, and you know what? The girl, like, saying the line. I think she's Hispanic, but so what? Like, how you gonna say, Kiana? Oh, by your name, I didn't know that you didn't speak English when your resume is in freaking English. Like,
what was the point of the commercial? Like, I don't.
I think that's why I said I think it was for Indeed. So it's like them helping her find a job, like putting it in this whatever to help find a job. I can't. That's what I said. I can't remember if it was for
change the name,
like
English,
a degree, or like a job finding engine or whatever. I ain't gonna go in on Indeed though, because that's how I found all 3 jobs that I got down here. So shout out to them. But that commercial was dumb.
Oh my gosh. Like that, they didn't think that through. That was really ignorant. Like, why would you even? I gotta see that because that's
I'm gonna show it to y'all. Like,
that's not cute.
Like, people were thinking by my name that I didn't speak English.
Man,
houseway.
Ignorant. Who when they call them scene? Fire them. But I think that we need to like normalize long Black girl names, normalize Black girls names with Q's in them, normalize Black women's bodies, Normalize little girls with braids and beads. Like all these things we're saying are ghetto. Like little girls with braids and beads. Like or grown because we see a little girl with baby hairs laid down and some hoop earrings. Like we need to unlearn this. This is taught behavior.
Yeah, it is.
Unlearn it.
It is.
You can say your preference.
Because, you know, again, yes, you can have your preference, but when you say unlearn it, how do I unlearn it? Question yourself. When you see it and you say, is this and is that, ask yourself why. Use the Socratic method. Ask yourself questions. Why is it like that? Why do I?
That's why I always tell people when they give a response, but what makes it
stupid? And
what makes it like? It's one thing to say like, oh, I don't like doing this because X, Y, and Z, but like we have to like learn what makes it this stuff. Because it's one thing to have a preference and you not liking it versus you saying this is ghetto, offensive, or inappropriate.
Right.
And that's the problem. Black is inappropriate.
Yeah, and I think that's what like this was good about this platform that we have to challenge people because. Listen, I talk to people all day that all they do is just tell me. They like this. I let people talk. And then at the end, I literally just be like, why? Like who said? Like, and they be laughing at me, but I be dead serious. I be like who said? And they be like, I'll be like, well, we'll touch on it next week, okay? We'll give you a week to simmer on it. Because who said, but then when you have those moments, it changes like your whole world. Because again, we have learned certain things or certain things become a habit, whether it's healthy or not. Like it becomes the habit, which is I mean, it's not fine, but it's not fine until you question yourself. Then that's when you realize it's not fine. And then you got some work to do.
Yeah, so, I've done that with myself so many times throughout my life. Like, well, why am I adhering to this rule or this way of thinking or this idea? And then I'm like, when I really like break it down, I'm like, I don't agree with it. I mean, it's not a real issue. It's a non-issue. Yeah. And I'm like, Black people, we need to like become a non-issue because everything we do is offensive, inappropriate.
It really is.
And I'm like,
so for the last,
it's all a part of learning, embracing, and teaching.
Yeah.
Because if we're not teaching, how's anybody gonna learn? Like,
what can I say? Last episode, she not teaching nobody.
That's what I was gonna say.
You gotta teach your children.
So that's why I said light on the teaching. Like this platform and in my therapy sessions is about as much as it's going to be. I'm sorry,
but you don't feel that way about like teaching young children. And
no. I meant other adults that have. Okay, got you. Because when we say
we gotta let them know, like embrace the girls, embrace your curves.
Yeah, kids.
Be you, embrace your
skin. Kids, yes, even teenagers. But I'm talking about like people in their 25s and up, 30s and up. Talking about some like, oh, I don't know, just educate me. Like, no, I'm not. You can go on my YouTube channel and look, I'm not doing it no more. I'm tired.
My hands are
no
more. So I was just telling mine this last night, like I am exhausted. I'm exhausted. And it's like, I had to check myself because I'm like, I see at least like 30, 32 people a week, like individual hour sessions. And that sounds exhausting, but I love what I do. So, it ain't nothing to me. The part that gets me is writing the notes, but that's another story. But I'm like, is it because I talk all day? Is it because I am sometimes mentally drained at the end? But it's not that. It's everybody else. I'm tired. Y'all didn't do y'all the same way that at one point I was insecure and I mean, you would never know, but like the same way I was insecure at one point, had to do research, had to learn, had to have uncomfortable conversations sometimes with people. Like me and Imani have uncomfortable conversations all the time. Like I'd be like, I disagree. I don't agree.
Of an uncomfortable conversation.
Like we have, but it's just like, how am I coming to it? Is it me? Is it her? Is it both of us? Is it just agree to it? Whatever. Like this has, and that's why I say like, it has taken a lot for me to get here. So if you are, especially, and I really didn't feel this way until I started working around white people. Like when I worked in child welfare for 4.5 years, I didn't have to think about nothing because everybody's majority Black or Hispanic. Like, but when I came here, it was just like, some of the conversations I was having, I was just like, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not. Like I kept myself educated in school because I always pick the black topic. I always pick like about race or something that applies to me because I want to learn and I'm in charge of like my education. But y'all could do the same. Internet is free. Google is free, honey. It's free as hell. It's free.
You gotta be careful with the website you're visiting. But yeah.
You gotta be careful. And that's what that's what I be telling my clients. I'm like, look, if you Google something, send it to me. I don't mind like reviewing it or whatever because there's a lot of think pieces. But you know, once you get past the first page of Google, be easy. Be easy. Like be easy. But absolutely, children, oh my God. I love teaching these little girls. Like, when I get like young clients, I'll be so excited. And they'd be like, you know, they're not really sure about who they are. Not once they finish with me. Like, not
Right. I'm gonna listen. Oh yeah.
There was a little girl one time I went out when I used to work mobile crisis. She was like suicidal or whatever. This little black girl, and she was saying how she was being bullied and stuff. And I used that. I realized I went kind of hard after I talked to her, but I said, she said, you know, they talk about my hair and stuff like that. And I said, well, do you like it? Like, do you love your hair? Like, cause I was like, I love it. Like, I think you're beautiful. Like, what do you think about you? When you stand on that foundation and whatever it is you think about you, can't nobody tell you nothing. I said, so when they come up to you and tell you that they think you ugly, what are you going to say? And she was like, Ann, I was like, yes. I didn't know how to document that necessarily, but I was like, client was feeling confident about self after meeting. Like, I don't know. But you have to like, and even if you don't feel it yet, you gotta fake it till you make it. Because once you make it,
it's over.
This is what it looked like when you make it. Okay, like you know, nobody can tell you. I'm sorry. And then that's when the conversations that we're having come up. Like, nobody can tell you. I know I was on my soapbox. I'm stepping off, but thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But that's very true. Can't nobody tell you nothing about yourself when you know who you are. Like I done heard it all before, and let me tell you, I'm probably gonna hear it.
I thought, and right out the other, if it even gets to the ear, that's why you gotta start gatekeeping to yourself. You see it, you're not welcome. The thought, the idea is just not welcome here. It's just not like, it's just not.
I reject that assessment. Ain't that what Kiana always says?
Yes, coming soon. I reject that. You already know. You already know. I reject that assessment.
Sit there and try to tell you about yourself, like little.
My favorite. It's some of the things have honestly become my favorite. Like, oh, I thought you was mean. Good. What am I supposed to do with that information? Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
What would you like me to do? Apologize?
What do you do? This is my face. I didn't make it. Like.
Look, my motto that I live by is when I stand before God at the end of my life, is He pleased with me? That's all I care about. That's all I care about. Like standing before God, I could care less about standing before you or whoever other else. Like
other else.
Listen, she said what she said.
I said what I said. Whoever other else.
Whoever other else. Like
I love it though.
This black girl don't care.
No. Any other thoughts, ladies? Any other
on your list, girl?
Ooh, that's it, y'all. We the pot.
Yay!
Everything about us, our style, fashion, hair. They want to copy off of us. They want to be us. They want to take our things we do and call it a trend. I'm going to tell
the most annoying part.
A video to the group chat. I still don't catch up yet, but. The girl who had like the sock or whatever, that's just a twist out. That's what
I sent that. Oh, no, wait. I sent that not for the white girl, for the Indian girl, just how long her hair was. That's all.
Her hair was
Her hair was so long. I didn't send it with no context. That's my bad. That's
my point though. That's my point though.
Her hair was so, I was like, this is gorgeous. Like her hair was so long. But yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
So that's what when I was watching Good Hair in countries like
that. Good hair. I remember seeing Good Hair in undergrad. I went to see that in undergrad. It was so good. I love that. It's on Netflix. Everybody should watch Good Hair.
I gotta watch
it really was a great. I thought it was phenomenal.
I feel like I wish I watched it back then. So
because there was a part in the, and we're gonna wrap it up right after this, but it was a part where where Chris Rock bought a bag of kinky hair.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that part? Honestly, I've only seen it once, and I will always remember this scene. Like, he went because the documentary goes into like the women who donate their hair, so we can get nice little things like that.
Some of them donate. Some of them admitted that they're getting them stolen. Like, they be in a movie theater and somebody come up and chop their hair off.
Some of them know, like, they shave their head. They show the whole process and all this kind of stuff. And it's really, and he traveled to the country. That was such
he did a good job. He was in the hair salon, like
they were talking about. Oh, maybe that could be our next episode or something, because we be here all day.
Well,
but
never get fully into hair.
I know. Oh, that would be good. So he brought kinky hair. You know what? I'm gonna save it then. We could do that for next time. I'm gonna save it.
We'll save it. Watch it. I'll rewatch it.
I'm gonna rewatch it because I haven't watched it since college.
We'll talk about Black women's hair.
We'll talk about hair.
Into it.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a good topic.
It's always a subtopic, but we never even get to it.
I know. We need to get into that. We need to,
so
especially with that documentary. I think the next episode could be good hair. Like,
good hair.
So,
but Black girls, we lit. Like, whether you a loud Black girl or a quiet Black girl, I don't care how. Like, whether you cuss, whether you twerk, whether you go to church, whether you pray, whether you married, single. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what type of Black girl you are. We are lit and we got range.
Dirty Black girl.
Okay.
Black girl.
And we out here and we out here just really slaying. Like
striving and throwing. We thanging.
Okay, I think we thanging. Alrighty.
Later.
Bye,
Thanks
y'all.
for watching.